give all praise to our God, Yahweh, his priest Yazar, out of tribe of Levi. And the lesson I want to do today is on, it's a warning to Israel and those who, just celebrated the Pesach, aka Passover, last week, and we're now into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That is imperative that we remove the leaven from our spirits and do not, like the scripture says, have the Passover in malice. So the lesson of today is basically to control your spirits, man. I'm already seeing brothers act out of order right after we just did the Passover, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is ridiculous. I'm not going to call no names out, but this is just a warning, to brothers to control their spirit, man. So I'm going to get a couple of scriptures, man, you know what I'm saying? And just, hopefully get this word of encouragement out, as fast as possible. This is Galatians 5 and 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. You know what I'm saying? We go to know who is a neighbor. We're into Leviticus 19:17, the children of thy people, man. And that sums up the whole law, man, because the two hardest laws, man, is loving Yahweh with all thy mind, body, and soul, and then loving your neighbor as thyself, man. This is the two laws that Israel struggles with the most, man. And I think until we perfectly execute these two, you know what I'm saying, the other laws, yeah, they're important, but they're not as important as these two. And this is why Yahweh keep repeating these two over and over and over again. Let's continue. Verse 15. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consume one another. Verse 16. This is I say, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary, the contrary one to another, that ye do not do these things that ye would. Verse 18. But if ye led after the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, reviling, and such, which I tell you before, and I have also tell you in time past, that ye do such things not. You do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. So, we must stay in the spirit, man. If you already going off right after you just did like I said, I just came from the Passover. I'm still in the spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like, the energy's still on me, you know what I'm saying? Especially, we're still in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We already got guys, putting the leaven right back in the spirit, man. That's just not of the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? So, what you really did was, you participated in the Passover unworthily. You know what I'm saying? Just shooting straight for it, man. Let's get this next scripture. Meekness, temperance, and such there is no law. And they that have Mashiach have crucified the flesh with affections and lust. And if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Let us not be desirous of being glorious, provoking one another, envying one another. This is Romans 2:12-2. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, the mind must be renewed. You know what I'm saying? Just like Psalm 19:8 says, you know what I'm saying? The law converts the soul, man. So you must be converted now, that you prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. This is Psalms 143:10. Teach me to do thy will. Thou art my power. Thy spirit is good. Lead me into the land of uprightness. You know what I'm saying? So your mind has to be there, man. Next scripture. Get it. And the thing is, when we say love one another, right, we kind of always misinterpret that, right, and say we can do it on our own will. Here's what the Most High said. This is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 9, and it reads, "But as touching brotherly love, ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of Yahweh to love one another." So once again, I can't just tell you to love your brother. The Most High to put it in your spirit to love, you know what I'm saying? And that goes truly into Romans 12 and 2. That go into loving your people, man. Loving your brother, man. I can tell you to do it, you know what I'm saying? That's the scripture. But the Most High has to put it in your spirit to do so, man. But let me read that again because that's so powerful. This is one of my favorite scriptures. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 9. "But as touching brotherly love, ye need not that I write unto you, for ye yourselves are taught of Yahweh to love one another." My scripture is so beautiful, man. Let's continue, man. So basically, like I said, the lesson is controlling your spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? I just coughed this up out of nowhere, man, because there's a lot of leaven in people's spirits, man, come off for such a joyous Passover, and then you're supposed to be celebrating the feast of unleavened bread. You see what I'm saying? Guys are focused on, oh, make sure your bread doesn't have the leaven in it, and all these certain things in your home doesn't have the leaven in it. You know what I'm saying? But you're not removing the leaven in your spirits, man, which is the most important part, man. The spirit outweighs the flesh times 10. Let's continue, man. This is James 1 and 22. "Be ye doers of the word, and not just hearers only, deceiving your own selves." You know what I'm saying? If you're just a hearer only, man, it's going out one ear and it's going in one ear and going out the other. "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets have gone out into the world." You get this 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yahweh, for as much ye know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh." Let's get one more scripture. And like I said, that's going randomly, man. Last scripture, John 4 and 24. "Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth," man. It's like one more scripture, Colossians 3 and 12. "Put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, and humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering." You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to put on, the kindness and the fruit of the spirit, which I just read in Galatians 5. Those characteristics which are so important, man. That is what does lack on an immense level, man. But like I said, control your spirit, remove the leaven from your spirit, man. And then it's about humility in this thing, man. It's one of the things that I've learned in, but with that, y'all stay encouraged, be blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a warning, correction to Israel, whatever, encouragement, whatever you want to call it. With that, shalom.